with Irish Show. It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. It's donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. I'm very comfortable saying this. I believe this is the most important, the biggest Saturday Night Live show we've ever had. It makes me think of all of those summer shows when there's no football going on and we're asking, what if this, what if that, where could Notre Dame get better? What's the year going to be like? I'm just having flashbacks of all the years of these Saturday night shows, even through this summer, and all you guys are there and everybody cares and everybody's invested, all leading to this moment. All of it. The point of all of that was us dreaming that we'd be in this moment, having this show, talking about this team being one win away from our next national championship. And I thank you guys for being here. Nice threads, John. 5'0" on Twitter made me a couple of these with Always Irish on the back, sent them to me for free. I think his kid's baseball team is the Irish or something. He got me a couple made. Number one, Always Irish, sent them to me. Shout out to 5'0". Shout out to Shane Gillis for the Under Armour ad. The guy's hot. What can you say? When you're hot, you're hot. And when you're hot, you call into the Always Irish show. 312-988-15. So anyways, you guys, this is it. This is it. This is that moment we've all thought about, we've all dreamed about. It is here. Notre Dame's one win away. It's going to be a tough task. You're an underdog for a reason. I have no problem with Notre Dame being an underdog. I'm going to say what I've been saying all along. These games are played on a field and not a recruiting database for a reason. Anything can happen in one football game. Notre Dame's going to be ready for this one, and Notre Dame's going to be ready for this one. And so welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here. Let's do a couple super chats. Load up the phone calls. Pistol Pete's going to go first, and then he's flying to Atlanta. He's going to go first, and then we'll let him fly to Atlanta for the game. Pat is here, and I want to have a little talk with Pat and see where he's at with this, and then we'll get it going. $5 from Craig. The akathisia has set in, John. Indeed, it did. I might have had to Google what that meant, but yeah, whatever that is, you're definitely right, Craig. I love you, buddy. Thanks for the $5 holler. I talked about this the other day, Philly special. J-Love, no knee brace, another positive thing. Somebody in the building talking to Love said, how you feeling? And he said, I feel just about back to my regular self. They got me wearing this clunky brace a little bit for just precaution. But he told my guy that talked to him, I feel great. So take that as some good news, Notre Dame people. Take that as good news. $5 holler from Steven. We're bleeping winning the Natty. Oh, I hope you're right. $50 holler from Donnie White. I can always count on you, Donnie. You're the man. Nicki Dean loves to be heard and seen down in Atlanta. He texted me earlier and said there's Ohio State people all over his hotel. I couldn't do it. It's not for me. I don't do well in mixed company. I'm not good at that. That is not a good situation for Johnny boy. One more game, Johnny. Just win. I don't care how. Oh, I don't care what it looks like either. $2 holler from the Mangoes. God bless ND and OSU. It's an honor to be here. Hey, two Northern Powers playing for the championship. Nobody down south. I'm interested. Ed Page, $20 holler. God is on our side. say hi to Tracy. God is definitely on our side. It's good to have. It's good to have. Steve with the $5 Pistol Pete's buddy from Central PA. Thanks for jumping in, Steve. Really appreciate that. Really, really, John would get arrested in 5 minutes in Atlanta. It's not for me. It's not, I know myself well enough to know I would not do well in this environment. I'm already wound up enough. I'm already wound tight enough. The last thing I need is to be around those people. I have no interest in it at all. Chris is here. Chris is here, and he's not going. This is the one of the hosts of the Ohio State show I was on. I think that's him. He's still sticking to his guns, 41-14. And he's going to fight Lou Holtz after it, too. Oh, man, that's rough. $5 Jacob Brown. I'm unemployed, but I love you, Johnny. Ping pong. Been with you from the start. We're going to win this thing, my friend. Jacob, I appreciate it. I appreciate the $5, even unemployed. Pat. Welcome in, brother. T minus 2 days. I need to know where your mind's at. I intentionally talked to you much before this because I wanted to do it live like I do with Goolsby. We don't talk about things until we're live, and you get it a lot more raw and real. Pat, where are you at with this?
I don't even know, to be honest. I just don't know. Like, it is a experience I haven't had. It is a tested football team. It is a tough football team. It is a football team everyone is expecting to lose.
Yep.
And I don't know what to do with that. You have a Hollywood story here.
Yep.
It's a redemption story. It's a hero story. It has everything in it.
Yep.
You got win one for the Gipper.
It's everything.
It's everything. But what's it all for if we lose?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense to me. And I watch this team and I look how this team has played, and I look what is on the other side, and I say, man, Ohio State is really good. Yeah. Ohio State is really, really good. They got a lot of great players. But so do we. Like, what is it? Am I the only one who just noticed that Leonard Moore is the first team freshman of the year cornerback? Like, all American freshman? Like, yeah, they have a stud freshman wide receiver. We have a shutdown freshman cornerback.
Yeah.
I think we match up well. The only thing that and it's because of the injuries, is the defensive line. But every time I say that, the defensive line shows up.
Yep.
So I don't know, John.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm not super excited. I'm not super nervous. I'm in the middle. It's just this tension that's been building for the last 8-9 days. And I'm afraid it's going to explode at kickoff at 6:45 on Monday night. But we'll see. I can't wait for us to get there at this point.
Yeah, it is. Man, I've been thinking about all this, the practical stuff, the bigger picture stuff, the narratives on both sides. I'm fine with Notre Dame being the underdog at this point. All the disrespect piling on. I already got, look at this, Pat. Look, watch. I already got this. Look, Chris again. Mad respect for Kennedy and your great show. I almost feel bad for the beatdown ND's going to receive. And then look at this. Karis. I remember this screen name from last year
too.
We played Ohio State. 42-7 Buckeyes. By the way, Burks, weren't you on the Buckeye Boys talk about OSU winning? You're playing both sides. But like, Pat, I'm seeing 42-14 from Chris Wilds, 42-7. When I tweet something, I'm getting 42-6, 47-3. It is, I don't know. Listen, man, if you said to me, Pat, this is going to be a tough physical game, but Ohio State's healthier. They have a few more, Maserati, and they're going to pull away at the end and end up winning by 10. But Notre Dame fights. I would say, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can totally understand if you said to me, I think if the spread's 8.5 or whatever, be like, I think eventually Ohio State makes a couple more plays. They're healthier and they end up winning by 10 or 13 or something. I'm not going to lose my mind over a prediction like that. But the complete lack of respect for Notre Dame even belonging in this moment surprises me. And you know why it surprises me, Pat? This is not a scenario where Notre Dame plays a 12-game schedule and USC's down and the other teams are down. They go 12-0. They get put into a big bowl game a month later, and it's one game, and they show up and they don't belong.
Alabama 2012.
I thought there would be some credibility in the 3-game run-up to this that Notre Dame would have built. I was wrong. Because if you don't believe in Notre Dame, you're not believing in Notre Dame.
The whipping of Georgia, the whipping of Indiana, what was an incredible comeback against a Penn State team. They probably should have beat Notre Dame, but Notre Dame decided to play football in the second half the way they know how, and they came back to win that game. I would have thought that they would have earned the credibility for people to say this game is going to be close. Like, not just that, people were saying that if Texas beat Ohio State, that game wouldn't have been close. And I sat back and I'm like, how is that possible? How can people believe that after Notre Dame just beat up Georgia and Georgia whipped Texas twice?
Yeah.
You know, and so there's just I'm all for it. Ohio State fans, be cocky. Call for these scores because I want your football team to read these headlines. I want them to come into this game believing they're supposed to win this way and that Notre Dame can't hang around. Yeah. Because I tell you what, that's their MO right now. That's what they want. That's their motivation. I mean, their motivation is to win a national championship, but I mean, these guys can hear this stuff and they know people are talking about them. And we already know Marcus Freeman's got the last year, the 23 game playing in the stadium, the famous 10-man game. We know he's got headline clippings on the board. We've heard this from players in their press conferences. So he's digging into this and saying, this is what they think of us. So we have to go out and show them who we are. Yeah. And yeah, it blows my mind that people come back and say, this is just like, in 2012, that's exactly what it was. It was Notre Dame was not, it was not a tested team. It had a soft schedule. They didn't play anybody. They had a month off, and then they went and got their doors blown off. Are you mean to tell me that Georgia is nobody? That Penn State was nobody? Ohio State barely beat Penn State. So I just don't get that. What I think is actually happening, which is something that I had to get over myself, because I thought, I'm the first one to say, I thought Notre Dame was going to lose to Georgia because, and I don't want to make this about Brian Kelly, but I still had Notre Dame Brian Kelly in my head. Like, okay, we did something special. Now we're at this next point. Are we really there? And I think the rest of the country still sees that with Notre Dame. Are they really a different Notre Dame, or is it still just a Brian Kelly team with a more energetic coach or a coach that people like? I don't think it's a Brian Kelly team with a coach that people like. I think it's a Marcus Freeman team that are dogs, and they're going to come out and they're going to play as hard as they can. Yeah, I think if it was anything like a Kelly team at all, you wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this show tonight. That's the whole point. We would be talking about, what do you think of the whole year? It's all just totally, it all feels different. And you got one chance to prove it here. I totally understand why they're favored. I give them all the credit for how good they've looked in the playoff. It's just, I would be genuinely shocked if Notre Dame didn't play this game tough and just fall short or win it. Like, I just do not see Notre Dame's just not going to lay down and give these guys the trophy. Exactly. And it's almost like that's what they're expecting. And I almost feel like the Ohio State show you did with the Chris guy and his what he was forecasting, predicting in it. I just like, they're going on and on about like these 7 wins against top ranked 10 teams or ranked teams or something like that. And I was sitting there like, but wait a second. You lost to Oregon. You lost to Michigan. Yeah. And Michigan's not losing to Michigan is not as bad as losing to Northern Illinois. Don't get me wrong. But that was the last game of the season. You needed an expanded playoff just to get in. You didn't get to play in your Big Ten championship game. Yeah. You blew out Tennessee and you blew out Oregon, but you should have beat Oregon originally. And we now know the SEC is soft as baby shit. Yeah. So like, what are we hanging our hat on? If we're Ohio State, what are you hanging your hat on? Honestly, if I look at it now, I think Notre Dame had the harder path to the championship game.
Yeah.
At least you had to play the SEC champion. You had to play the third best team in the Big Ten and the second best team in the Big Ten.
The reality is
Texas best like we get shit for playing Georgia's second string quarterback. You played Texas' second. Quinn Ewers is not as good as Archie Manning. I think Texas wins that game if Archie Manning is playing quarterback on that.
There's only one way to shut this all up, and you got to go in there and win the game. I'm not interested in some competitive loss where Ryan Day's beard still gets the trophy and all that. I'm not here for that. Like, there's only one way to shut all this down and shut it up, and you got to go find a way. Let me hit a couple more of these chats. Let me hit a couple chats, and then we're going to go to the callers here. We're going to see let me take a look. Yeah, so we got calls piling up. So everybody, we're going to try and stick to 5 minutes or under, try and be respectful and get as many people in as we can. And we'll go from there. Dr. John, $5 holler. Hey, what fun. Dinner with John and Pat in less than 47 hours and counting. Let's beat them Asculus glabra, whatever that means. Dr. John, you're smarter than me. I need a translator. Patrick Purcell, $5 holler. Johnny, you've been the ultimate Irish backbone all year. It's been a steady climb since NIU game. Off to Atlanta tomorrow. Safe travels, brother. Thanks for the donation. Really, really appreciate it. Here's Craig defining that word. Inner restlessness, mental distress, inability to sit still, fidgeting. Yeah, that is me in my life. Thank you. You nailed it. $10 holler from Tony, the Homer TD. As someone special to me said tonight, Tones, one more. And if you know who that special person is in a Homer TD's life. Somebody very important to the Irish program. Ed Page, $10 holler. I remember watching Doug Flutie beat the mighty Miami and Diaz. Telling you, man, counting Notre Dame out that they're just going to roll over and hand this trophy over to Columbus it could be a big, in the words of Billy Madison. Now you're all in big trouble. $5 holler from the Grizz. I just watched Coach Holtz on the Frank Stam's Ned Bolkar and Stonebreaker pod. Definitely a must. Watched the Lusky, had a bunch of great things to say. Yeah, it is. Man, there is only one way to shut this all down, and it is find a way to scratch and claw and win this game. And the last thing I'm going to say, Pat, is I wrote an article today, and it was called Styles Make Fights. And it's very clear to me the way Notre Dame wants this game to play out, and it's very clear to me the way Ohio State would like this game to play out. And Notre Dame has got to make this game look like they want it. And they got to make it a fist fight near the trenches, near the lines. If this turns into some race up and down, Notre Dame's screwed. Like, Notre Dame's screwed. If you let them Ferraris get behind you early in the game and Notre Dame's down 14-0 in the first quarter, Notre Dame's probably screwed. They have got to force this game to look the way that we want it to look. So it's really that simple. It's that simple. You gotta be able to do that.
And Texas showed that Ohio State is not invincible. You could play that way against them. I just didn't think Texas. I wasn't impressed with Texas. I think Texas had the wrong quarterback playing.
Yeah. So we're gonna see, man. This really does feel different, and we've been saying that all year as they made their run. That it feels different, it looks different. Then you got into the playoff and the results were different, and you saw, and it just feels so different. And now you're in this moment, and it's like, you just got to get over the hump, man. It's the final chapter in this beautiful 30 for 30 that's already basically written. You got to find a way. Ronald, go make me a McFlurry, bro. Seriously. Come on, man. Give me a medium fry, fresh ones too. Crispy, not soggy, crispy. Let's hit one more super chat, and then we will get to our callers. We're gonna do Pistol Pete first. Then I gotta hit Nicki Dean. He's down in Atlanta. I want to let him get on with his whatever he's doing down in Atlanta. And obviously Donnie White with the $50 holler. So you guys will be first. Everybody on hold right now, you're gonna be on the air. Walter with the $5 holler. if I wasn't at a Lions versus Commanders party, I'd call in. I think Notre Dame wins, but they'll have to play their best game. Hopefully X gets a pick. Yeah, listen, you could say that the pathway is somewhat narrow given some of the personnel deficiencies and whatever. But like it's winner take all in one game. This is not the NBA Finals, 7 games, and over the course of that, the better team ends up winning. The ball ain't a circle and it bounces weird ways, man. Anything can happen in one game. If you put yourself in the right position, some good things can happen. You ready to take calls, Pat? You have anything else before we get into it?
No, go ahead. Take calls.
Pistol Pete. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, right.
Oh, Pete. So what's the deal, Pete? You're heading down to Atlanta?
Tomorrow morning. Yep, I fly out of Midway tomorrow morning, fly back home Tuesday, and hopefully bringing a happy trophy back from Atlanta on Tuesday.
Yeah, this is Pete. I'm telling you what, man, you're a loyal Irish son. You're at every single game. You brave the weather, the heat, the cold, whatever it is. Of course, I'll be live Monday. We're going to do the normal Monday morning show, 9 to 11, and then we're going to do the post-game show after. So we'll do the same schedule, you guys. 9 to 11 Monday morning, and then we'll do the show after the game too. So yeah, plan on regular time Monday, everybody. Pete, what's on your mind, man? What are you thinking about this game as you're flying down there? What's going to be on your mind?
Well, let's keep this game close where we have a chance in the fourth quarter, and hopefully Ryan Day has a Ryan Day moment, big game moment here. So that would be great. Now, of course, I got to say this because obviously for where we're at right now, show that book, John. Show that book.
There it is. It's Frank Leahy in the Fighting Irish, and I want to rewrite a new one called Marcus Freeman in the Fighting Irish. And if he gets this done, I'm happy to write it.
I was asked last week where someone can find that book. Do you know where or no?
I believe my brother found that on eBay, and he got it for me for Christmas one year, and it was dirt cheap, like $4. The shipping cost more than the book, but I would look for it on eBay somewhere.
Well, how nice would it be to say next week, because you had to hear, you always are sick of hearing the Ohio State. How about we win and we say love the Notre Dame?
Yeah, Pete, there is some extra juice to this game, given all of Marcus Freeman's history with Ohio State as a Big Ten linebacker. The first 2 matchups at Notre Dame against Ohio State did not go well. Frustrating in 22. You tried to hang in at the horseshoe. Notre Dame was undermanned. You had a quarterback in his first start ever. Marcus Freeman in his first official head coaching game ever. That was rough. And then yesterday, it was a nightmare. Last year, rather, it was a nightmare ending against Ohio State. You gotta make this one right, Pete. Third time's got to be a charm. Let's get it done.
Okay. Yes. And I mean, I heard it'll be Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit calling the game. So definitely, I'm sure you'll be muting the TV.
That's a rough draw, man. You got a known Notre Dame hater and a former Ohio State player. I'm not expecting many breaks.
No, I would say not. Well, now, I mean, and then you heard Kelly this week saying he's rooting for us to win.
Yeah, of course. What do you want the guy to say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he can't say, I left them and I don't want to look bad if they win. I hope they lose, which is what he really thinks. But he can't say that. So I think Kelly answered it the only way he thought he could. But it is funny, him trying to nudge in. I'm like, I recruited some of those guys. Did you really? Because there's more than one starters on this defense that committed to Notre Dame having never met with Brian Kelly, but they came to campus and met with Freeman and wanted to play in his defense.
Yeah. Well, which ESPN personality are you hoping to really have the crow laid to this week?
I'm telling you, I'm done with all of them, Pete. I'm not watching any of it. I'm not watching anything. People are sending me links. I'm not watching Cam Newton, this 1978 Harlem dressing pimp. I'm not watching him. I'm not watching Feinbaum. I don't care about Stephen A. I'm not watching any of it. The book is called Frank Leahy and the Fighting Irish, chat. And so, Pete, this one is for all the marbles. This one win would make up for the 2 losses against Ohio State. Freeman would get ultimate redemption on his alma mater. This is a big one, man. Anything else, Pete?
Well, now there's a chance of the reality of it here. Win on Monday night, and you're going to have an all-night show pretty much, right?
I don't even want to think about what it would be like. I am totally blocking out what it would be like if we won. It's a dangerous thought for me in my emotions. So I am focusing on the work, and I'll deal with that if we're in that situation, Pete. I'm not even allowing myself to think about it.
Is Goolsby doing a tailgate at the game on Monday?
Yep. Goolsby's got the Always Irish flag, and they're going to be tailgating.
I'll be wearing the Always Irish t-shirt to Atlanta tomorrow, representing you and, of course, all of this. And it sounds like my friends from Pennsylvania very much want to become members of the Always Irish family and join in.
I appreciate it. There's room for everybody, man. There's room for everybody. Pete, I want you to have safe travels down there, man. How are you feeling about it on the way out, man? Do you feel good about our chances or what?
I think we got a chance. I think we do. I mean, yeah, we deserve to be. I mean, they should be the favorites, but they have the best team money could buy. So, I mean, and, well, hopefully we don't have to hear as much of that OHIO chant. Hopefully they're saying OHNO.
I really hope so, Pete. I really do hope so, man. Listen, safe travels down there. I want you to have I want you to be safe on the flight, and then send me a picture or something when you're down there. Let me know what the vibe's like.
Okay. Oh, have you talked to anybody this week who has that series MFBD on who they're rooting for?
I do not talk to Michigan people on purpose, so no.
Okay, because I've spoken to about 4, and 2 of them are rooting for us. 1 is rooting for Ohio State, and 1 is indifferent.
Yeah, they're in a tight spot. No matter what, they're in a really, really tight spot. I do know a couple people that are Michigan people that said they're pulling for us, but I don't even want their support. I don't even want their support, Pete. So, Pete, safe flight down there, and send me a picture. Let me know what's going on.
Yeah, right.
There you go, Pete. Say that on the plane. I'm guarantee it'll go well for you. Just start yelling it. Dude, Pat, I'm so wrapped up in this Notre Dame stuff. It's like I'm oblivious that the NFL playoffs are even happening. I have not watched one bit of it. It's like it's going on and I don't even notice it.
Yeah, I was watching the Chiefs game earlier today, and I couldn't pay attention to it. It was blah. It was blah to me.
Yep. Walter, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jake here with the Jake from State Farm $10. I'll appreciate that, man. Another $10. Going to say a couple extra Hail Marys for the Irish tomorrow at Mass, John. Thanks for all that you do. I really appreciate you jumping in. And for the dono, it's Pat, $5 holler. Ohio podcast, don't want none of me. Suck it, Buckeyes. Oh, man. Let's see. Where is he? There he is. There's Donnie. Thanks for the $50 holler, Donnie. Nicki Dean, I got you next. What's going on, Donnie?
Hey, John. How you doing, man?
Donnie, I'm wound tight. I mean, you know how I run. You know how I am, man. I'm the anxious type. I'm worried about everything all the time. I'm going to admit to you, I'm wound very, very tight about this moment. Not that I'm afraid of the game. It's just you just want to know what it's going to be, you know?
Dude, I was so calm, so everything. Listening to the podcast, you did Thursday night. And I know he's on there because you said you read a couple chats from him. That Chris dude, man, is he like Harbaugh? Is he an alien from another planet or what? I mean, you gave him so many chances to say, hey, John, I respect what you're saying. But for him to stick to his guns like that, and have no compassion for Notre Dame or any other human being or Marcus Freeman, you're right, dude. Freeman is doing it right. I think he's just overwhelmed with jealousy, and I think if the opportunity comes and they want to get Freeman and they want to pay him big money, he'll be on Freeman's bandwagon. I guarantee it.
Man, I really
do
did.
not.
Donnie, I tried to say, Chris, I know this is a show and I know how this goes. And you do the good cop, bad cop. Eric's the nice guy, good cop. And then Chris goes the other. I understand that whole radio show dynamic. It's as old as time is. And I want to believe that why don't I have memberships? That's what Patreon's for. I don't want all my baskets sorry, Donnie. I don't want BB Bean. I don't want all my eggs in the YouTube basket because I've gotten burned by that before. So I do have memberships, but they're on Patreon, not here. Donnie.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm on Patreon.
Donnie, I tried to say, I get you're doing the bad cop thing. You don't really mean it deep down, but he's holding to his guns. And it isn't only the Freeman part, but he is doubling down on that 41, 42, 14 type of score. It just can't be, Donnie. It can't be that.
Well, I think the Beatles made a song about him years ago, back in like 63 or something, 65. The Fool on the Hill, But anyway, John, I don't have much to say tonight. I really don't. I just wanted to get on and listen. And I wasn't nervous at all until you started this show. Now I got this knot in my stomach going round and round and round. Thanks, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It used to be this way.
Yeah, you're welcome. Come on over to the dark side. Listen, you know what I say, Donnie? I've always been a worrier. I always think of the worst case scenario. It's just my personality to be a worrier and a planner. The day that I'm not worried or mad about something, that send me to the hospital. Something's wrong. I always got something I'm mad at or worried about, man. I'm too aware of my surroundings at all times.
Well, John, the thing that kind of just makes me laugh is I hear all these people saying, well, Notre Dame doesn't have any experience in the national championship. Hello. We don't do like Alabama and all these other schools and say, well, we have 18 national championships, even though we really have 6. Technically, they take the unclaimed ones, That's a bunch of BS. We've never done that. We didn't do that in 93 when we should have won it and got screwed out of that one. We don't do that at Notre Dame. We take the high road. Excuse me, we have 11. We don't know anything about national championships. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know, man. This all needs to be different this time, Donnie. This isn't Brian Kelly, Notre Dame. This isn't any of this bull crap where we really can't hang. This all needs to be different. And listen, there's only one way to shut everybody up, Chris and all the people on Twitter and everybody else. There's only one way, man. You got to find a way to win this football game. And if we get blown out, I'll come on and tip my cap and go, all those people were right. As much as I hate it, they were all right, and I was wrong, and I'm happy to admit it. I just thought there would be a little more credibility on the Notre Dame side. I don't know.
I thought so too, John. And, John, I'm out on this. If you look at it, all the stars are lined up. This month, all the planets are lined up. Not the stars, but the planets are lining up for Notre Dame. Dude, everything 100 years since our first national championship. How about Lou turning 8? How about Lou just turned 88 and he won it in 88? Don't forget that one. Exactly. Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, dude, it's all there, and we know, and I'll say it. Ohio State's got the better roster.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to deny that. I'm not denying that. Yep.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean Notre Dame can't win. That doesn't mean we can't win.
Lou's podcast. I know Cotter's on there because I saw it, and he made some comments about Lou in there. But Pat, I just don't understand. Are you on his podcast, John? Do you ever watch Lou Holtz's podcast?
Sometimes, but
I have.
Really.
Okay. But and what they're saying about Lou and everything. Lou said on his last podcast. I just watched it here a little bit ago. He loves Ohio State. He won a national championship at Ohio State. Woody Hayes. He says, I love Ohio State, but they're not Notre Dame. And if you can't figure that out, you don't deserve to figure it out. And that's another thing that God's got to put in your heart. With that, I'm out. John, we're going to win this game 27-13.
Woo!
And then seriously. John, the last 2 times we played these guys, we were over man 2. They had the better roster. They had the better quarterbacks. They had a better receiving core. And all they're saying, and which every coach says about Notre Dame, all we got to do is stop their run. Good luck. There was only one team that stopped us, And that's because we didn't show up that day.
Yeah.
And I was at that game, and it made me sick. I don't want to mention that game because it is what it is, but it's in the rearview mirror. And it means nothing now. As soon as we got in the playoffs, NIU meant nothing, just like Michigan meant nothing to Ohio State. This is our new season now.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody starts over with the brackets, and we're going to be victorious, and we're going to get that 30 for 30. And I think somehow they're going to put the John Kennedy show in there, hopefully.
There we go. Hey, man, I would love it. Show the Shane Gillis clip as a part of the media buildup. There you go.
No,
Donnie, I love you, brother. I love you.
Donnie. Hey, have a good one, and we'll talk to you Monday.
Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for the donation.
They would have to show in the 30 for 30, John, they would have to show the first to break that Marcus Freeman might be the next head coach at Notre Dame when Kelly did his interview so many years ago.
Yeah,
that's how you kick it off. The 30 for 30.
I was early on all of this.
Yeah, listen, real quick on the Chris guy from Ohio State. Listen, I don't want everyone coming in here beating up on him. It's I know what it's like to be in that spot and to be that guy that has to say that thing. So I don't want to I don't feel like I come in here as a shtick or a character. But it's, it's kind of what I picked it up as. I don't, if he's that confident, more power to you. I think it's a false confidence, and I'll be happy to show him the results if it's untrue. But at the same time, if he's right, he's right, and he gets to celebrate it. But I don't think Notre Dame fans should be upset about that. I think you should be enjoying that, because that attitude, if Notre Dame pulls this off, will make it all the sweeter for us.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a really good point. Let's keep it going here. $2 holler KTM 84 to sum it up. The refs beat the Texans. Texas or the Texans? Tom S. Hey, John, I ran into your brother at the Orange Bowl, driving to Atlanta tomorrow. Go Irish. I got to give my brother a lot of credit for hosting that tailgate, putting the flag up, meeting all these people, and providing everybody an always Irish home away from home. That was a great gathering. The Wells Lamont player of the game is Reggie Brooks. $2 holler. Johnny boy, save the dogs. Notre Dame's going to have to play like dogs. God, I forgot how much fun that is to do the dogs. And your face looks all stupider than usual. The dogs. That's really, really fun.
Stupider than usual?
Yeah, more stupider than usual, man. Nicki Dean loves to be heard and seen down in A-Town. I wonder if he's hitting the clubs with Luda. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, I'm not down in Atlanta just yet, Johnny.
Oh,
we had some stuff to do around the house, and we stopped at Bowling Green, 5 hours away. But I got a special present for all those freaking OSU fans tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
I got a jacket. On the back, it says National Champions. ND helmet in the middle. On each sleeve, it's got every year we've won a national championship. I'm going to pimp that thing around Atlanta for the next 3 days.
I like it.
I'm going to make them so mad.
I like it, Nick.
And then
I give you credit, bro.
When we win 27-14,
ooh,
they are not going to be able to contain me. My wife is going to have a leash on me like she already has.
Nick, like WPP.
Nick, I got to tell you, man, I'm happy you're there, man. I know what this means to you, and you and your wife definitely deserve to be there. You are some of the most loyal Notre Dame people I could ever dream of meeting, and I'm really glad you guys are going to be there.
Yeah, we're excited. Well, I know I'm excited. My wife is like, "Oh my gosh, we have to drive that far." Ow, she just hit me. But we're having a good time, and I'm just waiting for this win. And like I said in the chat, I don't care if it's by 1.
Yeah,
if it's by 1, it's just as good if it's by 10.
Other than for your blood pressure, that's going to be a very stressful situation.
No style points in this game whatsoever.
Yeah,
I got pills for that though.
Yeah, you don't need style points. You don't need anything, man. You just need to find a way to grind out a win, no matter what it looks like.
The ugliest game.
It doesn't matter to me.
Care.
Doesn't matter to me, Nick.
I'm a little concerned about Pat though. How early does he have to fly out to San Diego?
Early. I have to be a midway.
Is he going to be in the after show?
If we win,
what's going on with that?
If we win, he said he was just going to stay up all night and go with the show. And if we lose, try and just go to bed for an early flight, right, Pat?
That's the plan. If I might stop in just if Notre Dame loses, I'm going to celebrate this season. I'm not going to be down on this team. I'm going to celebrate this season. I did not see this coming after Northern Illinois, and I am so happy with the length that they went. I'll be upset that Marcus Freeman didn't win a championship in his third year. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to celebrate this season. If they win, it's a party all night long, boys. I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to be sleeping on the plane.
Yeah, it's going to be, Nick, this is a big one, man. I'm glad you're going to be there. And go be loud and be proud. Anything else, my friend? I want you guys travel safe down there.
Oh, we will. And I remember at the beginning of the season, Pat and I really agreed on one thing. Notre Dame had to make the playoffs, and they had to win one game. And they beat both of those challenges.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Really happy.
Yeah, they definitely did.
That makes me really happy.
Nick, I'm glad you bring that up, because whether Notre Dame wins or loses Monday night, the fact is this does not feel like a one and done. This is your only chance to do this or whatever. It feels like Notre Dame is building some staying power, and it feels like this program is just about to hit its stride under Freeman, and this is just the beginning of it. So I do feel good about that. Either way this goes, it doesn't feel like it's just a one and done. It feels like Notre Dame's building something. That being said, I want to get this one, Nick.
Yeah, me too. And this is just a step. It's not a plateau. It's just a step.
Yeah.
And we're going higher.
Yeah. Man, hey, Nick, safe travels to you and the lovely wife. You guys deserve to be there. Yell your face off and root our boys on it, and we'll talk to you, okay?
Hey, the spring game's only about 3 months away.
Yeah, I know. I know with this extension of the season, and my rapidly receding hairline because of it. Yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Blue and Gold game.
I'll see you there, buddy.
Oh, that's great. All right, I'll see you, man. Yeah, it is. Pat, this season is like, it turned into an NFL season, man. How many games? 16 games?
16 games. You know what? God, that's such a good point, John. Think about it. This time last year, we were talking about like Riley Leonard and spring ball and who's going to play left tackle and stuff like that. We're not even done with this season, and we're almost at the end of July or January. Yeah. It's wild.
Dude, look at how good Jay Carr knows me already. John's already worried about spring game parking. Dude, it's like you know me. I'm that guy that goes to a concert of a band I want to see, and 1 minute into it, I'm thinking of what I need to do to beat traffic to leave. Like, I'm already... I'm leaning over to my dad, and I'm going, now, how the hell are we going to get out of here before everybody else? Because I ain't sitting in no 2 hours for traffic. We're going to watch the encore from the parking lot. I'm not doing it. That's really, really funny. That's really good. Couple more chats here. $2 holler from Omar. Do-rag update. Sorry, I've been missing. I'm working on a vendor for the do-rags. It is in the works. Super Sparrow 45, $12 holler. Funny dog fan. White base coat. Been way too long for us to have a legit shot at a natty. Never got to see one. Hope Monday is the day. I hope Monday is the day too, my friend. Theodore, $10 holler. John, it's one game. OSU is not the 05 USC team of world beaters. We have zero pressure on us, and they have all the pressure on them 1 yard at a time, 1 first down at a time. Go Irish. Listen, man. Dude, seriously, this time Monday, ND fans will vanish from YouTube. Do you know how much embarrassment and Notre Dame misery I have suffered and still show up here every stupid day of my miserable life?
Yeah, we don't go away.
You can say a lot of things about me, but not that one.
This show started because of Notre Dame misery.
Yeah, that is what started this show in 2016 was us being terrible at football. You got it all ass backwards, bro.
I want to go back to that comment about pressure. I think there's pressure on Notre Dame. I think Marcus, I don't know if Marcus
Is it
Freeman's
pressure
feeling
to win or pressure to be competitive, or are you separating those out or not?
Well, no, pressure to win. I think competitive, like I don't even consider competitive, like pressure to be competitive. I think there's pressure to win because Freeman said it in his press conference. He hasn't interacted with a Notre Dame fan anywhere where they haven't brought up it's year 3.
Yeah.
There's pressure there. There is pressure. There is pressure on Marcus Freeman to win this game, just like Brian Kelly had the pressure to win this game against Alabama. It's not good enough to get there for Notre Dame. It is not good enough to get there. And I said it at the beginning of the season. I want Notre Dame, for me to know Marcus Freeman is the guy, he's got to win this game. I'll also say I was wrong about that. I know Marcus Freeman is the guy. What I have seen the last 2 months from this football team with the injuries and just kind of just the way everything has rolled out for them. This is the best coached football team, the best prepared football team I can remember in my lifetime.
Me too.
I barely remember Lou Holtz, so I don't even count him.
You're right. Look at this. Lewis Lee. I can't believe y'all playing the David and Goliath angle. I wouldn't play that angle if I was not bombarded with 80 Ohio State fans per minute saying you guys are going to blow us out.
Yeah.
If That the only reason that I'm playing the angle is because I'm getting bombarded with people that are not respecting Notre Dame being in this game at all, and they're saying we're going to lose 42-7.
You turn on ESPN or you turn on CBS Sports, anything. Everyone's predicting this. Not everyone, but I would say the line it's 8 points. It started at 9.5. This isn't Notre Dame saying that, oh, we're David. This is college football at large doing it. And for me, I don't understand it because I think Notre Dame has proven themselves that they could play in this game, which is why I think I heard, I don't remember who it was, but I read an article where someone said, it might have been Joe Klatt, who I've been very hard on with his Notre Dame analysis, said that this feels very much like the start of the Patriots dynasty, where they went in to play the greatest show on turf, the St. Louis Rams, and they won that game. And that's how the Patriots dynasty kicked off. And I thought that was a pretty good comparison. Nobody's expecting the Patriots to win that game, and nobody's expecting the Bears to win, or the Bears. Nobody's expecting Notre Dame to win this game. And it's just the way everything lays out.
Yeah.
It just makes it seem like, and it's not my analogy. I saw it from someone else, but it just kind of just seems like this is the way Notre Dame reintroduces themselves to the national stage and says, this is our game again. We're doing it the right way. We do use the transfer portal for select players, and we still get the best kids in the country who go to class.
Pilney, $20 holler. For those ND fans going to the game, bring umbrellas and get ready for the urine bottles raining down on you from the classy OSU fan base. Just talk to ND fans who have gone to ND OSU games if you don't believe me. It is, I personally have no interest in being in that crowd. Even if you offered me a ticket, I have no interest. I don't need that in my life. I'm already worked up enough. I do not need that added stress and anxiety. I'll be just as happy here with you guys if we win. I do not need to be in the building. I have no interest in this mixed crowd whatsoever. $5 holler from Brian. Halftime, Commanders 31, Lions 21. Wild game. Hartman looks great. Oh boy, Hartman's in. Yikes, what's going on? Pilney, $10 holler. Wonder how much hate Freeman is receiving right now from the OSU fan base. Herb Street had to move his family out of Ohio because he wasn't sufficiently homer enough on his broadcast.
Chris Guy on the show the other night says he hates Herb Street. I'm not the biggest Herb Street fan, but I also think, like, unlike Chris Fowler, who's just an open, devout Notre Dame hater.
Yeah.
Herb Street tries to play it fair. He tries. He might not be great at it. I don't think he's the greatest announcer, but he tries to play it fair. And that's probably why Ohio State fans hate him, because they want him just to be a suckhole into their program. Oh, he went to Ohio State. Yeah. Everything should be great, Ohio State.
Yeah. Yep. 402, what's going on?
Oh, wow. John, we meet again.
We do indeed. What's going on, my man?
Oh, geez, man. Oh, I just want to, I don't know where to begin, man. It's been this has been one hell of a wild ride in this year, I mean, like, do you ever thought about 10 months ago, we'll be right here. You'd be talking to a random Ohio State fan, and we're reciprocating respectfully to each other, talking about a big game. I can't explain how excited I am for the game.
If you're on the Ohio State side, let me ask you a question. And I like asking this. I like asking this to Ohio State people, and I genuinely am interested in your opinion. If things were to go wrong for Ohio State in this game, what does that look like? Like, is it a replay of the Michigan game, Ohio State game, or like if things go wrong, what would that look like for the Bucs?
You ever remember that old black and white Frankenstein movie, the Mary Shelley one, the old really black and white one? Yeah, the ending is going to be Ohio State fans trying to, burn Ryan Day. That's what you're looking at if they lose. Ryan Day is a Frankenstein, and you got the lynch mob trying to get him. That's what it's going to look like.
Yeah. But as far as the gameplay, would it be that Notre Dame ends up forcing more of an Ohio State Michigan type game, and it's not as high scoring, and Notre Dame hangs around, like that type of battle? Like, because in my mind, that's what I think it might look like if Notre Dame's in it late in the fourth quarter. That kind of dynamic. Do you see that too?
Well, let me backtrack on a question you asked me a long time ago about the Georgia game. And when you asked me, was I surprised to see the physicality about Georgia? No, I want to date this all, and I'll answer your question. Trust me, I want to date this back when I first introduced myself here. This is Arcade Man Goes. Just in case you don't know, I'm the guy that's been circulating around. That's my name. Anyways, so when you asked me about was I surprised to see Notre Dame being physical when you guys played Georgia, honestly, no, because that same level of physicality you guys brought to against Ohio State at when we last time played you over at your home field, and I said to myself, oh boy, these guys are going to get better if they, they're trending upward. Like I saw what was coming, and now it's at full fruition. And going to what the play style, I'm going to say it, I'm going to cut against the grain against my OU fan base. Like, I love Ohio State. Don't get me confused, man. I bleed Scarlet Gray, like 559. Shout out to Lewis. I respect his passion as a fan. I'm the Lewis, like I will. But I would say you're a doggone fool to think Ohio State's going to go 42-7. This is not the same Notre Dame team. Marcus Freeman knows how to pitch a narrative to these guys. And I think the game plan is going to be. I think that the first half is going to be very close. This is a national championship game. This is the biggest game between two football teams, especially if I'm Notre Dame. This is the biggest football game ever in the lifetime of people who are a part of this organization. Now, the strategies implying this game, this is a two-way factor. Okay, first off, if I'm Notre Dame, I got to find some way to negate the effectiveness of the Ohio State defense. That defense is nasty. It is nasty, and Notre Dame needs to find a game plan to take out the effectiveness. They don't have to over-dominate Ohio State's defense. They need to wear them down mentally, because when third and long, when Ohio State has two Achilles heels, they have two weaknesses, and this is throughout the history of me being a Buckeye fan. I've seen this. Number one, converting on third downs, especially on third and long. So number two, chunk plays. That's what Notre Dame needs. Those are the two recipes that Notre Dame is going to need to be effective against Ohio State. The worst case scenario for Notre Dame is they're going pound for pound, score against Ohio State. They ain't going to win that matchup. So they're both scoring and they're in a shootout. Ohio State's going to win because of that depth stack. Now, the important thing that you're mentioning that you've been calling out, the next man up narrative, the next man up, like Notre Dame refuses to lose and they're injured. So when is this going to give? And this is the answer. This is what I really think. Notre Dame is going to be definitely tying up with Ohio State in the first quarter. They are going to have energy, speed. They're going to be matching Ohio State in what I think in the first half. This is going to be a fourth quarter game, not 4 quarters, a fourth quarter game. What I mean is that the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, the last 10 minutes of the game, that's when we're going to find out who's going to be champions. I do think Ohio State is going to be leading 24-17 in the fourth quarter, and the overall score, perhaps it could be 31-17 because there could be like a turnover in the Ohio State. Like, same thing what you saw against Texas, you know. But the thing is that there's a really good that's what I think that could happen. And there's another situation. Notre Dame could keep the game close, and that's another weakness against Ohio State. Riley Leonard's going to have to be running a lot. Historically speaking, when we're talking about national championship games with dual threat quarterbacks, Texas, Vince Young, Auburn, Cam Newton, Florida State, Deshaun Watson, Florida Gators, Tim Tebow, Jalen Hurts, Georgia. They use their legs a lot to try to spread apart the defense and get into their head psychologically, because the psychological aspect of the football game. They use their legs to contribute to their team winning. And Riley Leonard, that is what's going to be happening with Riley Leonard. He's going to be using his legs. You're going to see him doing a lot more running out of the whole games you ever seen him play, because this is a national championship game. This is the biggest game that he's ever going to be playing. This will be the best defense he's going to be playing, and that's what you guys are looking at the moment. It's going to be a fourth quarter game, and it's going to decide who's going to be winning. And that's where the injuries come in, like y'all talking about next man up. I think what's going to happen is that the injuries that you guys are talking about, the next man up and when this is going to give, or Notre Dame refuses to lose, I think that's when the inexperience happens and the wear and tear winds down. That's why I have this, score of, going on 31-17, because in the fourth quarter, the defense is going to capitalize on the injuries that you guys have, and I say this respectfully. I don't want, I'm not going to be, arrogant.
How do you breathe? How do you breathe? How do you talk for this long in a row without breathing? I'm not even mad. I just don't know how you do it. You haven't breathed one time. How do you do it?
Sean,
you haven't stopped talking for 8 minutes. How are you doing it? You don't even breathe.
I love you, John.
Are you from Earth? Are you a machine?
Oh, man, I just had a couple energy drinks, okay?
Bro, you just
Listen,
keep
man.
going. It's an 8-minute sentence.
Listen, man, I did a lot of research ever since I started, paying attention. I've done some research about Notre Dame.
Oh, my God.
And I understand a lot more about Notre Dame. And, what you said about Saturday night about when Tom and the Penn State felt like Ohio State fans are assholes and, they're the scum of the earth. And you said that, well, there's some good people there I know and are friends. And that really, really, got to me. So, yeah, I'm a fan. You're a good person. You got good people here. I like to stick around, and one of these times I'll let you ask me questions and I'll cut off my, I'm sorry, man. I got a lot to say. I like what you got here. I like talking about football.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. It's just amazing. I'm not even mad. I'm just amazing. I'm just impressed that you could do it the way you do, man. Anything on the way out, it can't be another 9 minutes. Do one more thing. One more, short thing on the way out. You better pick careful. You better pick carefully. One more on the way out. And it can't go 8 minutes.
Right,
one more thought.
God bless. All right. God bless always Irish, and go Buckeyes.
Oh, there you go. That's so nice, man. Thank you very much. I'm just giving you a hard time. I just think it's it's just impressive. What do you do? He never breathes.
He rolled. G-Bank 5 put in the chat. The game just kicked off.
Yeah. But like, there's not even punctuation. It just goes into the next idea.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh, that is so funny. All right.
That was good.
I love that guy. He's very respectful, though.
Yeah,
like,
no, here's my thing. He brought up a good point. I know there's a lot of people in here hating on Ohio State fans. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of Ohio State fans who deserve hate. There's also a good number of Notre Dame fans who deserve hate.
Yeah, that's true.
I was at the Ohio State Notre Dame game last year, and I interacted with a lot of Ohio State fans. And I never had a bad interaction with them. Everybody was respectful and polite. There was some playful jabbing going on, but I never had a bad interaction with them.
Yeah.
But I've been to plenty of Michigan games where there was nothing friendly between anyone. I've never seen a more disrespectful fan base. So if you have to say which fan base I'd rather deal with the Ohio State fans than Michigan fans. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've had some rough interactions too. And nothing to do with like the game. The Michigan fans I had a problem with were like disrespecting the campus, trashing things, like just being total white trash.
Like,
and I just
you're walking with a little kid and they're F-bombing everything, and you're just like, come on, just show a little. I'm not talking like respect. I'm just like a little decency as a human. But
with kids around, that kind of thing, whatever.
That horse, so
yeah, it's rough. $10 holler from Pilney. Thanks, man. ND being underdogs and all the national pundits picking them to lose handily will work in Notre Dame's favor. The only way to end the national disrespect is to win. It is the only way. Winning solves everything. And it is, you're absolutely 100% right about that. 650, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Yo, Johnny,
first
time caller. I'm heading to the game tomorrow, so I'm pretty pumped. But before I get to my questions, I just want to give a quick shout out to Always Irish. I came across you all when I was looking for some Irish content back in August before the boys are going down to College Station. Came across 2 of your episodes, and they were legendary. You probably remember. First was the one where you're talking about third-year Freeman versus first-year program Elko, and the passion was so good. And then the second one that just hooked me was when you went deep on O-line U and like how all these excuses about the ability to only have 6 total games between the starters. I was getting it was the best. And then won that game, and then NIU happened. Thought we might lose you,
Yeah, me too.
Just throughout the year, just kind of the buildup. I mean, I have this huge Irish Catholic family all over Chicago, a bunch of, Domers, but just huge Irish fans. I'm coming to the game tomorrow from California, and you just have this weird kind of like soul that I can feel. I can feel the anxiety, the stress. You've been an amazing part of our fall. So I just.
Hey, thank you, man. It's that my existence is a little odd when one of the best compliments I could get is that my soul is weird, but I totally know what you mean, man. Like I know what you mean, man. It is, I get what you're saying.
My friends do not understand an Irish fan,
Yeah.
It's just hard to explain, and it's just you epitomize it all in a great way. So I
appreciate that. And you know what else I've learned?
I love listening every week.
I appreciate that. The other thing I've learned is even within the Notre Dame fan base, there is a large percentage of this fan base that can't stand me, and a large percentage of the other media that can't stand me. You either like totally get my thing and it's for you, or it's a total turnoff. There are very few people in the middle. You either totally are drawn and understand what I'm doing and love it, and it hits you, or you're like, what is this guy yelling about? Get me out of here. It's just funny because there's never really anybody in the middle.
100%. Well, here's a quick question, because I've been listening to a bunch of you, throughout the week. I agree with a lot of you guys' analysis. I think it all comes down to Mikey D, a.k.a. Mike Denbrock. I think it's all going to go down to O-line U in terms of they can run the ball. So I'm just curious, do you think he can scheme a game where he can push around, Ohio State's defense and linebackers, and because I just think that's critical.
You know what me and Pat were talking about right before we went live? We were talking about Jagasaw coming back and what a big deal that could be, getting him back after that injury in August, and that what a monster he is, and that he's had all year to build up frustration and because he's not been able to help the team, and then how much he's going to want to move people, and maybe you could run behind that guy who's got fresh legs compared to everybody else. Anybody talking about that? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to hear from other callers. I'll look for Goolsby. We've got a tailgate going tomorrow as well. A bunch of alums and everything. So I'll look for him and hope to meet you someday, either in South Bend or elsewhere. But
hey, man, thank you. We're gonna do the blue and gold tailgate, and then we have not picked our game for next year yet, for sure. And then we'll pick a game and we'll do a tailgate for that. So, but yeah, man, let me know. I'll let everybody know when we're gonna do what. It'll be great.
Awesome. Thanks,
safe travels, man. Yep. Go Irish. Safe travels, man. Thanks for the kind words. Pat, what do you think while I blow my nose?
I'll tell you what game we're going to do for the Always Irish tailgate if they win. The first one.
Ooh.
You got to be there. They'll do
Beware. What are you talking about? Beware.
For the Always Irish tailgate, if they win on Monday,
yeah,
it's got to be the first one.
The first game?
Yeah, first home game. How can you not be on campus for that?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
That's like from for the chat, since John's going to do his booger sugar, is the like when the Bulls were winning in the 90s, going to the banner raising, or the Blackhawks in the 2000s going to the banner raising game. You want to go to that first one because that's when they're celebrating what they did the year before. So yeah, that's the one I'd have to be at. But they don't have the schedule out yet, so I don't know what it's going to look like. All I know is they open up with Miami, then the rest of the games are undecided to that point. Is it Texas A&M? I don't know. Or maybe
are they going to put one in front of? Are they going to put one in front of?
Can they?
A&M? I don't know.
Not A&M. Well, Miami's first. I hope they throw like a Boston College or somebody in there.
Pilney, $10 hour. Track star running backs are a good omen. Last time ND played for a title with state champion track star was back in the 73 Sugar Bowl when it was Eric Pennick from Cleveland, who Woody wanted. That's a good one. That is a good one. 864, what's going on? $864. Going.
Hello?
Oh, I hit it. Call back, man. You barely missed me. 515. Welcome to the show. Call back, caller. I'll get you. 515. What's up?
Oh, what's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's going on, man? It looks like you're a first-time caller. What's the deal?
I am. It's an honor to be on here. I'm a little nervous. So
it's okay. Hey, it's just me and you talking on. It's just me and you talking on the phone. It's just me and you talking on the phone. Don't worry about it. There's nobody else listening. I promise.
Well, shit. All the thoughts went on in my head here. Very nervous for Monday, obviously.
Yeah.
I was in Miami for the Penn State game. Very fortunate to be there. Would love to see another win.
Yeah, it would be. It's the final chapter to be written. It's all there. All the narratives line up, and there's just one thing left: Notre Dame finding a way to fight one more out and grind it out.
Right.
What do you have any thoughts on like the key to the game, or what it will take for Notre Dame to be in it late with a chance to pull off the upset? Like what do you think?
Oh, defense needs to show up.
Yeah,
for 4 quarters, like Mr. Omaha was talking. 402, the guy didn't stop talking. They just need to keep it close, I think, honestly.
Yeah, if this turns into a boat race, if it turns into a boat race, I think we're in big trouble. I mean, Notre Dame is not built to get up and down the field fast and do all that. Like that is not Notre Dame's game. And so I think it comes down to a couple things, man. The defense has got to play really, really good, not give up big chunk plays or anything over the top. And then I think the offense, you got to keep getting first downs. You got to run some time off that clock, keep the defense fresh off to the side. Like you need to, every second that Notre Dame has the ball and they're taking time off the clock, all those Maseratis they got are not trying to catch passes. Like Notre Dame's got to sustain drives, drag this thing out, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. And one of my first memories as an ND fan was 96 at home against Ohio State. I was like 8 or 9. And the Buckeye fans were throwing little Buckeyes at us as we were walking to the stadium.
There you go. There's a good early memory. Yeah, there's a good early memory to make you love them a long time.
They won it.
Yeah. It's, dude, you know what? You know what bothers me? Those Buckeye chocolate peanut butter things are delicious. I think it's like a holiday thing. They make those Buckeyes and it's peanut butter with chocolate and they're delicious. I just don't want to eat anything associated with Ohio State. Feel like I'm going to get poisoned.
So I just hope they show up and keep it tight.
Would you be surprised if Notre Dame got boat raced? Would you be genuinely? I would be surprised if Notre Dame doesn't make this. If they go down, make it a really, really good fight. The 42-7 stuff has got me. I just don't think this Notre Dame team's going to go out that way, man. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't. Based on last year's game too, we've got a lot of the same pieces in place. I think the only thing, the big difference is the quarterback. But
yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's right there for Notre Dame. You don't have to have the better roster. You just got to play better than them for one game, man. And we're right there. What do you make of the trajectory of the program overall? That's another big picture thing. When I zoom out, I look at this program and I feel like we're just at the beginning of something and not at the top, regardless of how the outcome goes. I really do feel like this team and program's on the rise, and Freeman's getting more comfortable. The administration's helping him out. And I think we're trending in a good direction.
Oh, I agree. I love it. You got to hang on to Freeman for as long as possible, I think.
Hey, they're trying.
Articles coming out.
I mean, they're trying. They extended him through the 2030. So, I mean, they're trying to. I think Freeman, I think he wants to complete his mission here. I think he's that kind of guy that wants to complete his mission. And then if he does that a couple times, maybe then I could see him looking for a different challenge. The other thing is, I really think Freeman's gifts as a person are best served in the college game. Being a mentor, being a family man, the communication skills, what a role model he is. I genuinely feel like those attributes are best served in the college game. I really think that.
Right. Yeah, I think he relates very well to college kids.
Yeah. So that's what I think too. And Christopher Wild says, Kennedy, after Ohio State wins, I'll send you a box of Buckeye candy. Oh man. I don't want them. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for being a first time caller, and feel free to call again, man. Don't be shy.
Will do. I'm just hoping for an ND victory. I'm diehard like you. I'd like to meet you too, like the last caller.
Oh, hey man,
or whatnot.
We'll be around.
Stadium for Bush. And that video hit me hard. Me at home last year, so
yeah,
I enjoy listening to it every week.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Save the number, give me a call again, and there's no need to be nervous. It's just me, you, and a couple of our best friends here. Just a couple people watching.
People being nervous to talk to you just blows my mind, John.
It's not nervous to talk to me. It's nervous to talk on the internet. Those are different things. I think I'm approachable.
That even blows my mind more because
you got 200
everyone's a tough guy.
People. Huh?
We know everyone on the internet's a tough guy, so I would never be nervous to talk on the internet.
Yeah, James Fulmer, John and Pat, just wanted to thank you guys for the time and love you put into this podcast. Now the best podcast in the world. I don't know about that. Joe Rogan might disagree, but I'll take the compliment. I'll take the compliment. We're not
what's his name's
those
wife?
Numbers.
Didn't the Eagle, the Travis Kelce's brother's wife, doesn't she have the #1 podcast in the world now?
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Pilney, $20 holler. Beating Georgia down south in their backyard was a motivational victory to show them they could do this kind of like the Miami victory in 88. Once they beat the U, the SC game that year wasn't close, and West Virginia didn't even have a chance. That did seem like a seminal moment for this program, not Florida State seminal, but a seminal moment for this program. And it wasn't just beating. It was B. Bean says John Kennedy is very scary. In certain ways, I certainly am. Not physically intimidating, but I'm scary, all right. It wasn't just that you beat Georgia, but it was kind of the way you beat Georgia, how you ended up out physicaling them and kind of pushing them around. That's what that was it.
I was in South Carolina for that game, and I was running around saying, "Oh my God, it's not that just we're going to beat them; we're better than them."
Yeah,
we were the better football team.
That was a big one. Phil says, "I quiver when John picks up my call." That's just that's the fireball getting to you, man. Don't.
I'm just leaving that one alone.
$10 holler from Justin. Hey, John, it's really nice seeing you drinking out of the chalice of malice so much. Let's keep the good times rolling and make that a habit. Win or lose, it's the beginning of great memories ahead for Freeman and ND. What a nice message. I want that to be accurate. I genuinely do. Oh man, this is oh boy. Here we go. 361. I'm going to get you in a minute. Oh boy, turn down your volumes. 559's up on the line. Here we go, baby. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Right here. It's go time. It's party time. Let's get crazy and let's show them what Notre Dame's all about. Hey, Pat, I see you smiling all that, looking all cute and all that. My boy, I can't wait to have you and John have a shot of Don Julio Setenta once we win this national championship, my boy.
So it sounds like you're quite positive about our chances in this upcoming contest, right?
Did he call me cute?
Yeah.
How can you not? You tell me, how can you not be proud and excited where we're at? How can you not? Well, we're winners already. We got our coach locked in for a multi-year contract. We got recruits. We got everybody looking to see not only what kind of money we got, but what kind of money we're bringing. And now you see why we are good to be independent. We don't need to share that. We're bougie, bro. We got the whole bag.
We're bougie. We're bougie.
Man, I got to tell you, dude, if I could bottle your energy, I could use some of it because I'm running low after all this playoff run. This has been taken. My nerves are shattered. My emotions are running low, bro. Can I borrow some of whatever you got going on?
It's called being at peace at heart. And Omar, I love how you defend me. When people call me Louis, you're right. My name is Luis, Luis, Luis. But right now, we got to talk about Notre Dame because guess what, John? The crazy stuff happened at work on Monday. I was on crunch time. I've been working 16 hours every day. Everybody knows how crazy I've been working, but I made it happen just so I could be with my Notre Dame football and be loud and proud. And this Mexican is going to be even crazier than ever before. And we're going to show you why we are the University of Notre Dame, why we are special, why we are here. We're not here. We didn't get no hand down. We're not here because we were lucky. We were here because we believe. We believe in each other. We stand next to each other. We picked each other up when we were down. Hey, John and Pat, remember when I first called? And I told you how much I believed in Marcus Freeman? And you know what?
Yeah.
I love both of you, man, because your reactions is what made me keep calling back because I thought I was being a fool. I promise you that.
Well, you
I respect the hell out of
you were acting a fool, and that's why I love you, and that's why you're a regular.
But there's a way to act and there's a way to believe. You know what I mean? And you know what? I believe I'm a fool in a good way.
Yeah, you are. And that's when you said that we were bougie shopping down that aisle. And dude, I've loved you ever since you said that. That was your first call.
Hey, you're missing the chain, my boy. I gotta make sure you get one because I got one for Gooseby when I go meet him at the tailgate.
Man,
okay. Hell yeah.
Look for the flag, Manny. I sent him the flag. My brother had it in Florida. I had my brother send it to Mike's dad's house in Tennessee, and he's driving up with it. So look for the flag with the white always Irish on it, bro.
Yes, sir. And then now here's the thing, at first I was happy just being here. I'm like, I'm content. We're winners already and all that. You know what? It's cool. We made it. We're here already. There's nothing more that we got to do. There's nothing more that we got to prove. And you know what? I'm like, what am I thinking? What's going
There's
through my head?
something left to prove.
You know what? We're not going to be happy just being here. This is where we put pedal to the metal. No hold bars. We're going to fight and crawl, stalk and punch and whatever the hell we got to do to get that extra yard, that extra first down, that extra touchdown. And we stand next to each other. We're going to tell each and everybody we're here to play some football, and we're going to show you why we are the University of Notre Dame, and we're not going to hold back. We're going to have to run and wake up every single asshole from back in the 1900s and let them know we showed you how to play football, and we're going to kick your ass this time. And Ohio State, I swear to God, I got receipts, and I'm going to cash him in.
Dude, I love you so much, man. Never change. Just whatever, just don't change, man. You are you.
Bougie.
There's only one you, and I love you for that, man.
No, thank you, John, your dad, too, man. It was an honor to meet you and your papa. You know what I'm saying? I'm all proud. But you know what? Us Mexicans, we had a baseball team that we were against the odds, you know what I mean, back in the World Series. And the chant of Mexico started saying, "Si se puede, si se puede, si se puede." That same thing with Notre Dame. Si se puede, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede. That means we can and we will win the national championship. Good night, Pat. Good night, John. I love you all. Let's stay up. Let's get bougie. Let's get back as wild. And then, you know what? I need to make sure that my boy Pat needs a shot because he looks like he needs one right about now. Because I need him to smile and be proud. And I'm going to take you to the Single Mom Foundation because it looks like you're a hell of a good time to have to be out there with me.
I love you, man. I love you. Travel safe. I love you. See ya.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh, God.
He
That is so awesome. That is
and
so much fun.
Pat, the thing is, it's not an act. When I met him in person at the Indiana game, that is just hot. The second you meet him, that energy, like that's just who he is. It's amazing, man.
No, that's great. It's fantastic that is the energy we need right now.
Oh,
it's so awesome. I wish I could be like that.
Yeah, I don't have that energy anymore, no matter what. $10 holler from the Pilney. BK's frustration is that Freeman got the support he wanted but couldn't get from Captain Jack. BK took the program as far as his limitations could. Maybe he knew that, but would never admit it. My contention to this would be you got to be open to the idea he didn't get all the support he wanted from Captain Jack because he wasn't willing to do certain things that Jack and the administration wanted him to do to get the help. And when you start treating people like crap, you're not going to get help.
Okay, I don't want to go down this road, but I just want to say what did Brian Kelly not get that he asked for?
Yeah.
Like he says the resources at the school. What was Notre Dame not giving him? They built him a stadium. They gave him turf. They gave him a training table. They gave him a new indoor practice facility. The plans for the building that they're making now started when BK was there. Like,
and you know what else? You know what else too, Pat? They even gave him some loosened restrictions on getting some guys in. And unfortunately, a lot of those guys got in trouble and flamed out and it burnt Kelly. He wanted that. They gave it to him, but he picked some of the wrong guys and they actually got in trouble.
They gave him a private jet.
So
like that's my thing.
There's to the golf course. You can land in the driving range.
I've been going off on this because the LSU group is trolling hard on this right now. That apparently Brady Quinn admitted. No, Brady Quinn was talking about NIL, and NIL was a thing for 2 months, 1 month or 2 months when Kelly's last season at Notre Dame started. It just came into play. So it wasn't NIL resources. So he talks about resources, but he never says what they weren't giving him. And then if you go back and you look at the 12-year stretch he was there, they spent almost $1 billion, whether it was the stadium, the practice facility, the pay for the assistants, the training table, the massage therapist, the additional football staff. They paid a private freaking jet for him to go recruit with.
Yep.
That guy.
Michael, $10 holler. Hey, John, love the shirt. I had to get in it tonight. This is a team of destiny. Let's finish the job. No reason this team's resilience won't pay off Monday night. Let's go to you, sir. 361, and the one who delivered me a couple of these jerseys for free. Nicest guy in the world. What's going on, 361?
What's up, dude?
Hey, man.
So I got to shout out Craig because I was at a 4-year-old birthday party, and Craig's like, dude, you got to come on tonight. John's wearing your shirt. He's giving you love. I was like, all right. And then you set me up to follow Luis?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I really set you up there. It's hard to follow that energy. Hey, man, I want to thank you again for the jerseys. It was the perfect thing to put over all my layers at the Indiana game and show off, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Real quick, before we talk Notre Dame football, you know how I do my honors card bomb? I tag you every weekend.
Yep.
Luis's drink of choice, because he doesn't drink, is the most hilarious thing you'll ever hear because it's Luis. He drinks a 5-hour energy. If there's anybody on this planet that does not need a 5-hour energy.
Dude, he needs a Quaalude latte. He does not need a 5-hour energy. That is hilarious, man. That is hilarious. But dude, I love that guy. And he is so genuine. And you know what, man? It's just kind of meant to be. The first tailgate I walked to at the Indiana game, that guy was there giving me a big hug. It was just meant to be. I walked right into him. It was great.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. He brings the energy, and that this season has brought so many people together. You and I both met Luis very different ways. I need to meet this guy in person, but that's why I put a team of destiny. I know that's like cliche and kind of whatever, but if you think about the season we've had, like like you said, it sounds cheesy, it sounds cliche, but it makes total sense for what we've gone through, what we're facing week in, week out. Everybody, the playoffs, a single elimination. We've been playing single elimination since week 2. Week 3 to today, it's been single elimination.
Yep.
So it's really, and I love that in the chat still, you lost to NIU, and we did, you're right, and won the national championship. And the NIU loss, I said on my show, I know you've heard other people say it, you've said a little bit. Without the NIU loss, we're not where we're at today. We're not sitting here talking, you're not wearing my jersey, I'm not calling into the show talking about national championship if the NIU game doesn't happen, in my opinion.
It really is messed up, and you would like to think that it wouldn't take that kind of disaster for the switch to flip, but it genuinely is hard to argue that something didn't change about Freeman and the entire program from that moment on. They have the longest winning streak in America.
And that game, that points to all the stuff you've ever said from the jump about Freeman. Because the reality is the NIU game has happened under Notre Dame and specifically Brian Kelly in the form of Tulsa, USF, Navy twice, escaping Ball State, then escaping Vanderbilt in back-to-back weeks. It happens with Freeman, with Marshall. It happened with Stanford. We get it. He was learning on the job. Fast forward to this season. The NIU game happened, and we all thought the same thing. Oh, here we go again. And no, Freeman showed why we all had this faith in him and why we all trust him and why he is who he is. He bounced back and got this team so focused. And you remember, I know you do, what is the first thing he said after the USC win when he walked that press conference? What did he talk about? 84 days. That was the first thing he said, 84 days. It's been 84 days since NIU. He's had that team so locked in and focused to never forget that feeling. And it's the first time in a long time that what the F loss didn't derail our entire season.
Yeah. It was a man, I remember that moment. And you're sitting there going, what way is the Freeman era going? Like, is this trending in the right direction? Like, what is going on? All this stuff. And what they've done since is truly amazing, man. You got to give them, especially with, it would be one thing to do it all healthy, but to do it as banged up as we are is really impressive to me.
Oh, absolutely. That's the resilience I refer to when I sent you that message. The resilience in adversity is not just the NIU. It's Benjamin Morrison. It's Botello. It's Traore. It's Riley Mills. It's an unhealthy Jeremiah Love. It's The list goes on. Offensive lineman, Ashton Craig. Jagasaw is now back. I mean, the list, I made the joke after the Penn State game that our offensive line is more likened to an infirmary line at this point. I mean, what string of what position is playing what position on this offensive line? It's incredible, and the drive and focus, and it's all still there. And I can't remember if it was Kaiser or Leonard, but it was after the Georgia game, I believe it was, and they said something such as, I don't remember the exact quote, but it was, hey, the reason we battle as hard as we do is because of Marcus Freeman. He's a player that just can't put on a uniform. He's got our back, we got his back. He's right in there with us. He's getting us hyped. He's another player that just can't suit up with us. And the players coach team, sometimes they say, oh, well, that could backfire. You don't want to be too light and be on their level too much. But no, he sets this standard that I got you, you got me. You respect me, I respect you. I'm not above you like the way Brian Kelly would present it. But there's this understanding, and that's what led us to where we're at heading into Monday night.
Yeah, it is. It is a different feeling, man. For once in my cognitive Notre Dame experience, the vibe around the program feels the way I think it needs to feel to be able to win. Like, it just feels right. It feels different. The energy is different. The energy is right. You got a head man that the guys want to play for and buy into what he's saying, unlike all the Kelly changing his personality every year and BS and gaslighting you up there at the podium. And it's just, it feels right, man. And let's get it over the hump. Just find a way to win one more game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were down 10-0 to Penn State, and that didn't feel like it was impossible to overcome. But in past seasons, it would have maybe felt that way. That's why I don't know what Monday night's going to look like, but I don't think Notre Dame's ever going to be out of it. I think Notre Dame wins 24-21. That's my prediction. But this is a team that they find ways. They just find ways. And something I heard is the Notre Dame team is a bunch of no-names. Nobody knows who they are. And that's fine. You might be right. But the beauty of that is, okay, fine. Who are you going to key on offense? Because maybe Jaden Greathouse goes for another 100. Maybe it's face-on this time. Maybe Mitchell Evans catches 5 or 6 passes. Maybe Jadarian Price shows up. Maybe it's Jeremiah Love. Maybe it's Riley Leonard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Notre Dame has all these different options that are, maybe they're not the number one in any specific place, but they're equally as talented and equally capable. And then defensively, it seems no matter who Al Golden has to put on the defensive line, the secondary, they figure it out. They get it done.
Yeah, this is it's a big opportunity, man. I'm ready to see. I think if Notre Dame goes down, they're in this game late and it's a fight. Notre Dame isn't going to roll over. This is your chance at immortal Notre Dame glory, man. Come up, pull out all the stops, take a couple chances if you have to, and let it all hang and let it all fly, man. Anything else? Thanks so much for calling, man. Good to hear from you again.
Of course. Yeah, no, absolutely, John. No, just, there's so many storylines that can be written on the Notre Dame side that I want to see that happen. I mean, it's been 36 years. My dad was 36 when they won their last one, double his age. He's now 72. My son, who is now 12 and finally into college football, partly because of EA Sports, but he was 10 days old when we lost to Alabama. Like, there's so many stories in everybody's family that I just want all of it to come together and we all celebrate and go bananas.
Yep, I'm right there with you, man. Well, enjoy everything with your lovely family. Yeah. Thanks again for the gifts you sent, and hopefully I can meet up with you at Notre Dame soon.
Hey, my goal is next year, John. I'm going to meet you next year. Let's go.
There we go. Let's do it, man. Enjoy the game. Have fun. Really nice guy, good Notre Dame family. Jack Sacco, the one and only. The only thing Kelly wanted but never had was coaching talent. Oh, Jack.
Jack Swabrick couldn't give that to him.
Yeah, even the lawyer himself couldn't reason that one. Pilney, $20 holler. ND had never beaten Georgia in 3 attempts till now. ND has not beaten OSU in almost a century. 0-6. They keep reminding us, rightfully so, until it changes. Go Irish. Rewrite this. $5 holler. from Mark Goodman. Really appreciate that, Mark. Thank you. I think I see you on the lines. Thanks for the donation. We'll get you up here. Tom, Chris, these are some wonderful Notre Dame people. Met him at the Sam Hartman signing. They've come to the tailgates. Great Notre Dame couple. $20 holler. What's up, John? Wishing Monday would hurry up and get here. Hoping we show up and show out. See you at the spring game. Man, I love you guys. Thanks for the support. As always, I really appreciate it. Let's see. Where was I? Here we go, Mark. Thanks for the donation. You're up. What's going on?
John.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, what's up?
Okay. You beat that on me. I didn't hear you call my name, but I called you in last week, first time caller. Been watching your show for quite some time, but I wanted to call in. I have some great stories from the times we've gone from here in Orange County up to the Coliseum to watch Notre Dame versus SC. I was thinking about the guy who just talked about Kelly, and I know how much you love Kelly, but I tend to disagree with you on that. I don't like the guy. But worse than him was Bob Davies. That guy was a piece of work. Back in '96, Lou's last year, and I love Lou. When I was on the city council here in South Orange County, he was so gracious. I mean, he gave me personal letters back when I wrote him, including right after when they lost. I wrote him after Florida State when they won, and then they lost to BC.
Oh,
but he gave me a great response on one. I don't know if you know the name Scott Tinsley, but at the time I was on the council, he and a bunch of guys wanted to do a sports bar here in Laguna Niguel. They needed a use permit. So they came before the council, and it was a group of investors. Scott Tinsley was one of them. And in his intro, he was presented as the last USC quarterback to have beaten Notre Dame.
Oh.
And this was 1994, so I forget when it was. It was going on to 10 years. So he came before the council, made his presentation. I said, Scott, welcome to town. I said, the only thing I got to tell you, you say you're the last quarterback to beat Notre Dame. I got to tell you, you just don't look that old. Of course, I got a good laugh. So I wrote that in the letter to Lou Halls, and he wrote me a letter back saying he cracked him up. But he wouldn't send any. The guys asked me to get him to send memorabilia. But Lou said no, because they're going to hang it up with all that USC stuff.
Yeah.
But I heard a couple weeks later that he did come into town, and he did give him some memorabilia. So I love Lou. At his last game at the communion breakfast, I took my oldest boy up who was 12. Lou stuck around long enough for him to get in and get his autograph. When we got to Bob Davies, no, 2 kids left. I got to go. We hated it so much that like 3 years ago when New Mexico State played Notre Dame, my boys and I went out there to watch the only time we've ever been to a Notre Dame game so we could watch Bob Davies lose. And the guy was so inconsiderate enough to have a heart problem and didn't make it to the game. So,
yeah,
still don't like the guy. But I'll wrap it up with this. This is the real reason for my talk. In the 2004 game, Reggie Bush, Liner, that crew before their big year, we were at the Coliseum. Notre Dame was 7-4, SC undefeated. We were on the side of the Coliseum where they have the tailgates. We had forgotten our binoculars. So I told my middle boy, I said, hey, why don't you walk back to me in the car? We'll get the binoculars. So as we got the binoculars, we're walking back to meet everybody inside. And outside of the Coliseum, I see Anthony Davis walking with an entourage. And I pointed at him. I said, you see that guy right there, son? That is a very, very bad man. A bad man. He walked over to me laughing and put his arm around my shoulder and said, do you need some psychological support today? Because it was that obvious that Notre Dame was going to get crushed.
Yeah.
It was very similar to what we're hearing today. I knew. All I could do was manage a sheepish grin, right? But what I'm going to tell you is, same thing with the 2012 National Championship. That first drive, the game was over. It was like kids playing with adults, right? This game, we're getting the same vibe from almost all of the, all the big sports guys across the country saying it's not going to be close. Notre Dame's great, but they don't have the talent. Not the same this year. Not the same at all. I don't have that feeling whatsoever. These kids physically, I mean, yeah, they have some great gifted guys on Ohio State, but our players are some really high caliber cats.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to run these guys. And I personally, I do believe they're going to beat them. Even though I'm hearing all the same crap, like somebody's going to come put their arm around my shoulder saying I need psychological support, I don't need it. I don't need it at all.
Yeah, hey man, I'm with you. It's just all the narratives are there for Notre Dame to be able to pull this out. And I hope they do, my friend. Thanks for the call. Anything on the way out?
No, I appreciate it. And, my kids are going to be geeked if they win, but you know what, something else? They'd have been crushed usually, but they're so proud of these guys this year. They're just going to be looking forward to next year.
Yeah, it's it'd be nice to finish this with the win, but it does feel like the trajectory's heading up. Thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate that. You guys in the chat are funny, man. You guys are like some of you guys are just like, you're right on everything. Nothing, you don't miss an opportunity, and you're just waiting to pull the switch, all of you guys, man. Pilney, $20 holler. This ND team has a retro feel. Freeman fires up the team like nobody we've seen since Era in his early days. Era turned things around quickly in 64 with simple motivation and good coaching, maximizing all of his talent. Man, I'm telling you, it's this is big time stuff, Pat. Hey, we're about to wrap up here. I've got Patreon stuff to do. I've got YouTube stuff to do. So I have gotta get rolling here.
Yeah, you went long. You said 9:30.
There's a full bank of calls I couldn't get to. You guys, it's never been busier on the call-in lines. We're doing a better job trying to pare the calls down a little bit or near the 5-minute mark. I'm really, really trying. Maybe I need to come up with a 1-minute warning and then we just get cut off. Like, I'm going to have to be stricter with it. I try and not do it. What are our own people fighting each other for now? We're not even fighting the Ohio State people. Andrew, is that at our own people? What are we doing now?
I mean, you could take a guess.
Is everybody just wound tight? What's going on?
No, I think there's just a general dislike for one particular person.
Well, whatever, man. Whatever. So, Pat, do you have anything you want to end on? I'm going to tell you guys the schedule we have going on. I'm going to post a video in the morning. Goolsby's got a Patreon going out in the morning. Monday morning, normal time for us. So we're going to do 9 to 11 in the morning. Our normal, that's going to be the pregame show. And then we're going to do the post-game show like normal. And it's either going to be the best day of our lives, or I'm going to be an absolute miserable nightmare and everybody's going to be drunk and miserable and everybody's going to hate everybody. And I'll be here to deal with it because that's what I do. What do you think, Pat?
Yes, that is what you do. So listen, I won't be able to come on Monday. So this is my last show until hopefully the celebration after the game. So I wanted to give a little my expectation of the game and how I think it'll end up. I think it's, somebody said that, it's Notre Dame's got to drag them out to the deep end and drown them. And I think that's the kind of game it's going to be. I do think Notre Dame comes out hot. They come out flying around, hitting people, making the tackles, making plays, and show Ohio State they're in for a dogfight. Ohio State will score. They will score some points. Notre Dame's defense has been great in the red zone all year, and I expect Ohio State to be able to get down the field a couple times and Notre Dame to ridge up and force some field goals. Notre Dame is going to need to get either a special team score or a defensive score, I think, to win this game. Yeah. I think you're going to see a score from Riley Leonard and you're going to see a score from Love, but you're going to need another score. And I would not be surprised if I see a 21-20 score in the waning moments of the game and a Ohio State attempt at a field goal and a big Bryce Young paw knocking that ball down as they go to kick a field goal, and a Notre Dame victory on a block field goal attempt. And that's my score, 21-20. Go Irish.
Yeah, I think for SI, I had 28-27. Notre Dame finds a way. They ask us to do a hot take, like just a 1-sentence hot take. And I said, I think young Bryce Young makes a huge play, whether it's a blocked punt, a block kick, or getting around the edge in a strip sack, something with that young, long guy I like. And I think he's going to do something. That's my hot take.
Oh, Alexa, turn my lights on. You need that. I know. Back to the clapper. No, you're going to need all three phases of the game.
Let's leave your college girls out of this. What? What now?
Jerk. You need all three phases. This is in all three phases of the game. You need fast linebackers. You need an aggressive defensive line. You need a lockdown secondary. You need to run the ball behind Jagasaw. And let's take this fresh 6'7", 330-pound monster, and let's have him start running people down and just let's go right over him. That's what we're looking for. That's what we need. That's what we're gonna get. You're gonna get a big play from the special teams. You're gonna get a big play from the defense, and you're gonna get the offense isn't gonna look great, but let's be honest, the offense really hasn't looked great all year. So, but they're gonna get the points when they need the points, and then like I said, Bryce Young, let's block that field goal, boy.
Yeah,
Irish win the natty.
I mean, and the other, you know what else I wrote in my profile for SI? I wrote, if Notre Dame's going down, I am honorably pleased to announce I'm going down with the ship. And I do so with honor. They have done so much here to gain, credibility and belief back from this fan base. I will honorably go down with that ship if Notre Dame doesn't get it done, because I feel like what they've done to fight through this year to get to this moment, and then what they've done in the playoff, I will gladly just go down, hold on to the wheel and go down with the ship proudly.
Forever
supporting this team.
This team, this staff has forever impressed me. This is the best to come from where we were to be where we are. Yeah. This is a win in my eyes. I am proud of what I've seen here. I am. There's no doubt in my mind that Marcus Freeman is the right guy to lead this program.
Yep.
And I think there is nothing but glory ahead of Notre Dame. I do think the world of college football is watching us saying, shit, he got there with a team that is 10 in the rankings as far as recruiting is concerned and beat the hell up.
Yep.
That's got to scare the rest of college football. He didn't have to get the best transfer players from around the country.
Yeah.
He didn't have to
they're doing
overpay
a good job.
A recruit.
What I've been saying, Pat, is Freeman's been able to do something we've been begging for 30 years and haven't seen, and that is getting the group of guys to play better on the field in a big game than it looks like they should on paper. We have never gotten, and we just have not been able to get whatever group of guys we have to play their best or better than it looks like they collectively should in these moments. Freeman's been able to get that and have that going on. And whatever, I'll go down with the ship. If we lose, I'll own it. I'm going to be here and be miserable all night. I'll own it, but I'm going down with the ship.
You have fourth string defensive end at the start of the season taking significant reps.
Yeah.
And contributing at a high level. Like it's coaching. It is player development. It's the player development we've always been told that we were going to have that we never actually had. It's actually happening now. So let's go Irish. Let's go win this game. Let's be here Monday night and keep me up all night. So I am driving to Midway Airport. I got to leave at 5 a.m. and the show's ending at 5 a.m. because that's what I want. I want to celebrate with, because of my travel plans, I can't go to my dad's house. I can't celebrate this game the way I want to be it. So I'm going to be with you guys. I want to be celebrating with you guys.
Oh man, Pat, thanks for everything, man. All of the shows you've been here for, all the late nights, all of the all the misery, all the frustration, some of the good times, all the off-season things where we're debating how it could look and what we need to do. It all got us to this moment. One more game for Notre Dame glory. And thank you guys all for being along for the ride, man. I really do appreciate everybody being here. No morning show tomorrow, but I'm going to have a video for you guys on YouTube. And then we'll go live Monday morning, 9 to 11 regular time. And then we'll go live after the game. Hopefully I'm not miserable. Love you guys. I love this show. Go Irish. Thanks for being here.
Go Irish.